back to Song is Born podcast. Today we have Per as our guest. Per is a friend of mine. We met when we started working together at Tony Suits, building and designing wingsuits. So we became really good friends over the years, and we actually hadn't seen each other for a while. And we got to visit with each other a lot while we came down to Florida, and it was amazing. And so I thought, shit, we should have him on the podcast. So Per, how you doing, man?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man, no worries. I love the shot you got there. It's really quite something. You got like a whole garden back there.
Yeah, it's my new wingsuiting, Kyle. It's gardening.
Yeah,
So,
right. So tell us about it. What do you have back there?
well, it's basically all for pollinators, for hummingbirds and butterflies and all those things. You know, I came over here from Denmark back when to work with you back in 2000, early 2018. And dude, over there it's just like Canada. It's snow and slush and cold, and so I come over here, and the nature is way different. So that caught my eye immediately, you know.
Yeah, you seem to really take a liking to hummingbirds.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have. I can't.
you have
I
this
can't. I
obsession.
can't really explain it. Obsession, yes.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I'm not tattooed all over. That's because I can't afford it.
yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would. It is an obsession, man. Yeah.
Do you plant any
But
vegetables in the garden or anything?
yes, we have some beans and some pumpkin. You know, we're trying to figure out alternative ways of getting groceries. Like so many people, I think, out there are doing right now. We are looking into being, semi self-sufficient at least, or learning about it. We are trying to make fruit trees and fruit bushes, blueberries, a lot of different figs.
Yeah,
So
you've got like
some
a
prepper
lot of
stuff,
figs.
really. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of figs.
yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'm curious about the differences between like Denmark and coming to Florida and just the United States in general for like procuring food, groceries. Like, isn't there a lot more like fresh ingredients, local ingredients that you can find more readily available in like Denmark and Europe in general, or or have you found something different here?
Uh, I would say Florida is probably a little bit unique in the United States itself. I think there's a lot of fruit that come from here. So even some brands that are maybe larger brands, it's really local produce for sure. All the citrus and a lot of the fruit really are fresher because it can be produced closer all year because of the temperature. In Europe, it's really seasonal, and then I think in the wintertime, almost everything is imported from outside of Europe.
Okay.
So I would say that's maybe a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have some
Hmm.
citrus trees, right? Some lemon or lime trees, right?
Yeah, a lemon tree and an orange tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can
Uh,
see behind you on your right. I don't know if you could see it, but he's got some like little, what are this, like sweet water or something for the hummingbirds, and they come in right by the windows.
oh, well, yeah, you can see it. I don't know if it's in the picture. Let me see. Yeah. It's a hummingbird feeder.
Yeah,
There'll
that's
probably be a hummingbird close by. Could you hear that sound that was just there? That was a hummingbird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they you'll be sitting out there. When we were there visiting, we were just sitting out there, and he was telling me a story of how one of them comes and lands in his hair, and the way he lands in it, he kind of grabs onto the hair, and so when he takes off and flies away, it just like pulls his hair. They get so close to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing that these little tiny little things, man. They're like little big bumblebees, just buzzing around like
Yes.
so aerobatic. It's impressive to watch.
Yes. Yes. And they're well the the obsession probably came from our work together, Kyle. We spent so much time, incredible amounts of time and energy to try and figure out how wingsuits fly.
Yeah.
And so we were obsessed with well, fluid dynamics, aeronautics, whatever you will call it, whatever we were doing.
Right.
Our own hillbilly, crazy tinfoil hat version of that. What science is was our approach, but we were obsessed with this flying stuff, and that's
true.
where all these birds and this interest definitely comes from.
Yeah, we even named
Yeah,
some of
you
our
know-
designs after birds.
Yes, colibri, which means hummingbird. You came up with that.
Was it me? I don't even remember.
Yeah. No, continue, Carl.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna reminisce about our visit down to Florida and our hikes that we did. That was a lot of fun going through the forest with the baby. She was loving it so much, man.
Yeah,
She's like
nice.
it's like you can take the little girl out of Florida, but you can't take the Florida out of the girl. It's like born into her.
No. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, Kyle. When people say that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
So I'm curious because I'm not great at the conversation flow or small talk. So what would you guys like to hear? What are you guys curious about when you do these podcasts with people? Do you have is there anything that you would like to get into?
Well, I think it's a common thread on all the episodes where we kind of talk about like what your influence in music is, like where you're from, how did that influence the music that you listen to, and then what does it evolve to?
Oh, all right, man. I did not know that, but that's a very good question. That's a very good question. So, man, I would like to do a little chronology about it then.
Go for it.
Yeah, man. I was way into metal when I was younger, and it started with Metallica. I went to my first concert in 1993 and watched Metallica when they came to Denmark. That was a game changer for me when it came to music. So
Isn't their
I was,
drummer Danish?
Yes, I was sort of hoping we weren't gonna get into all that. But like one of the we have Brigitte Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife. I don't know, is a 7-foot blonde. I don't know if you remember her. Do you remember her? She was in Beverly Hills Cop 2. That is one of the few Danish famous people. And then, yes, of course, the drummer of Metallica, Mr. Lars Ulrich. He's like, oh, and back then when Napster came along and he was on the, he fought for copyrights, but he didn't go about it in a very good way. And so he became the impression of Denmark to all the world back there in the 90s, Lars Ulrich.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was fighting a losing battle back then.
Yeah, he didn't know it yet.
Like 90% of all music is streamed now, so.
Yes. Yeah. I think he stuck his feet in the water, and everyone else in the industry looked and said, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do the same thing as that guy."
Oh. So you were a big fan of Metallica. What other kind of music did you like growing up?
What other kinds of music? I guess I was really into Nirvana when they came out, and the whole grunge wave of music. I really liked that, and that was also like the whole. I want to say the whole vibe of the late 90s, for me anyway, was this grunge wave was also felt over in Denmark. I don't know if we had our, Scandinavian version of what you had over here, but that was something that came through over there. We were, and as most of the Western world, completely in line with American pop culture or music culture in that way. It's not like I've listened to traditional Danish clock shoe music or or something Danish that is unique to Denmark. We had our own versions of of what was made in the United States, and I think it's been like that since the 50s. Basically, that everyone emulates America to some extent, and the UK, Britain has had a lot of music influence in Western culture, I think too. But definitely, we have always emulated you. So that is where my music comes from my influence from America. I wanna talk about what I've been getting into lately, maybe, because I've listened to a bunch of different music, and music has been for many years just tapestry. But I want to say, I'm I'm not afraid to admit it that I have really gotten into reggae music.
Oh wow.
So that's sort of something new, something new. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about it. Maybe it's the weather over here. That might be it. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if
reggae
any of
in
you guys
Florida is always
are,
a good fit.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think so.
Can we do some reggae?
Yeah, we kind of talked about.
I think if we did
311
reggae, it
before,
would come off
but,
as ska.
there's a little bit of a reggae vibe there, and callbacks to the
I have
90s.
I have
The evolution of where grunge went afterwards, and they kind of mashed both of those genres in a way.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh man.
Specifically, I've been listening a lot to Stick Figure. I don't know if you know Stick Figure, the band.
I remember you were playing some of their music when we were there, but I hadn't heard them before.
Yes.
It's very relaxing.
Oh. Yes.
It makes me want to
I think
pop
what
open
they
a Corona at the beach or something.
Yes, exactly. Whatever your happiness is what it's like driving to. It's like very happiness focused. What it is they're doing, and that's something I find very interesting. It's very feel good. They do mash ups. So I thought about you guys and then Stick Figure, and what they're doing is they mash it up. There's a lot of electronic elements in what they're doing. Sometimes there's stuff that goes into bossa nova and tango and like Latin stuff, and then sometimes there's also rock music mixed into it. What I was thinking that would be interesting, if you're willing to do anything that has anything to do with reggae, then it is I would suggest something like your music, like you are your music, which I find to be in the genre of rock with some. What would you how do you define your music?
Yeah, I'd say rock.
Alternative. I think we always kind of.
Yes.
We always.
Modern alternative rock. I would probably put it in that.
There we go.
Good.
Yeah, the kind of music
Yes,
that
We
good.
settled that.
organically.
We have never discussed this before ever. What genre we want to be, or what genre we should call ourselves? Pop, rock,
Yes.
metal, new, whatever. Whatever you.
Yes.
It's
As
the
long as
streaming
it's-
companies that decide that, anyways.
I mean, as long as it's melodic, we love like the harmonic dissonance stuff. We love interesting chords. We try to stay away from just the boring 4 chords, 4 bars. We'd always try to change it up and add something a little
Yes.
more alternative to our music.
Yeah. So that is what my suggestion would be. Add the spice of whatever it is that. There's a few bands. I mentioned Stick Figure as one of them. It's not like I just like reggae. There is a subgenre to reggae. I don't know if it would be called white boy reggae, but it is not. It is not. It is not directly ingrained in reggae culture, and religion and whatever that whole ganja thing is. But it is just strongly influenced by it. I would call it. I would call it some subgenre of reggae, and it's specific. So there are just some performers or bands that do this, and that resonates with me personally. And I just mentioned Stick Figure as one of them. I'm not asking you at all to emulate them, but that is the weird subgenre that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that sounds so cool, and it's definitely new grounds for something we haven't done yet. But I guess the next question would be like, what's your passion now? What's something that you're inspired by, and something that we can kind of feed off of to help find a direction for where this song's going to go?
It's a good question. What am I inspired by? If I, to be honest, I am inspired by the role of the father of a father. I aspire to be the version of me that will be the best father, and I'm trying to, as quickly as I can, achieve the wisdom and the calm. You are both fathers, Carrie and Kyle. So, and Bo, I'm sure you know what it is I'm talking about. But you guys are already ascending or have ascended into that role. Especially you, Carrie, being a father for more years and have more experience with it. The what it is a father is, and becoming that and growing into that for real. It's not just something you say. It's something. It's a path. It is a path to choose. And I know also that you both, you two, you are deeply inspired by your own father, who played a very important role. And the way Carl speaks of your father, with the love he speaks of your father, that is what I'm talking about. That's my whole inspiration. And I believe to get there, you have to find service in life to something good, and you have to find a path towards where you think your happiness is, where you can be calm enough, and where you can be the father, where I can be the father. That is that's my prime directive right now.
Wow, that's really powerful. Yeah, there's a certain level of contentment that you want to reach as an individual before you become responsible for a brand new life that you're going to love, and it's just going to be all consuming. And I mean, I had kids really early, so I didn't get a chance to reach that that sense of accomplishment as an individual or as independence. I went from having or being a kid to having a kid. So my experience is so much more different than what Kyle's going through right now. And his passion is so fresh because everything is new to him. And I mean, his little girl, Isla, she's so precious. I finally got to meet her. Kyle was down for 2 months, which is why, it's been a while since we've had a full podcast episode released, because, we had to spend time with our family and get to know our newest member. And it was just a really emotional experience. And it's still fresh. I can definitely feed off of that emotion and put that into a song. And like you said, being introduced to fatherhood for the first time, that's such a profound experience.
What you were saying, Per, it, in a funny, like, kind of weird way, it reminds me of that, every time you get on an airplane and they go through the spiel in the beginning and they're like, before you put on the child's face mask for the oxygen mask, you put your own mask on.
Yeah.
And it's, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like what you're kind of alluding to is you got to find your, trajectory in life to either fulfill yourself or others in your life.
Yes.
which you can then pass on to your child.
Yes.
And being able to, you can't do that in the most fulfilling way until you really find yourself and what your passions and what you find is important in life to then pass that on to your kid.
That is correct. Yeah, that is right.
Kind of a weird
Yeah,
analogy, but
yeah,
Per,
you're right.
you found it, man. You want to talk about your job, your new job that you started there? That's pretty exciting news. Man.
Yeah, it's
You got some good
as
stories,
as a
I'm
park
sure.
ranger. Yeah. Yes, already. Yeah. I want to say real quick. Yes. I'm 44 years old. I will be a father at 45. So those things come maybe easy to me. The fulfillment of oneself. It is the melting away. I am experiencing the melting away of even caring about that. I really don't. It's a weird thing that's happening. Stuff like I don't know, material goods and there's so many things that suddenly seem way unimportant compared to family. Family suddenly. I mean, I feel like I feel like Amish people do right now. That it's the family is everything, and I've never felt like that before. That's I think that's just a taste of what is coming, because I don't know what that love feels like. Carrie and Kyle, you don't have kids, right, Bo? Want to be sure.
no, just a puppy dog that takes up most of my time.
Yes. Well, a love for animal is something very special. I don't mean that to patronize. We have animals too. I have an incredible love for animals, and that can be even more than love for friends and a lot of family. But I do believe that the love of a child, I keep getting told that you cannot be explained what that love is. You cannot understand it before you experience it. So that is, I believe I'm tasting what is about to come, like, or getting ready for that feeling somehow. It's exciting.
It's everything you hope it's going to be. You're going to love it, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, and it
Well,
sounds like
hopefully,
you've reached a maturity within yourself that you never thought you'd get to. You know, just being a single guy for so long and having the crazy lifestyle of being a skydiver. But it's really nice to see that you're so excited and you know, you got just what you said is such a sweet thing. I mean, your kid could watch that and just see the love that is already admitting from you, you know, like that aura of love is just ready to be used and put out there into the universe.
Thank you. That's nice.
I've got a question for the skydivers out there. So, becoming a dad, how does that affect and influence you when it comes to your next jump or what you decide to do from a skydiving standpoint? So now you've got this new incoming responsibility or already existing responsibility now that's been, you know, that kind of changes your life on its face.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you can. I've seen it many times. You can be a father and a skydiver, but honestly, for me personally, I retired from it mentally around COVID, and physically, I don't know, somewhere in 2019 or 20. And I, never say never. Maybe I'll find the passion again. But for now, it is simply not in my. I have over 7,000 jumps. It's not a.
Wow.
I got enough. I'm saturated with it. That was it.
Your fix. You played.
Yeah, I got my fix.
Your chances plenty of times.
So it just takes 7,000 jumps, and then you're good.
Yeah, basically.
For all those listening.
Basically, yeah. You just have to just throw money at it until then, and then you can relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm done too.
Yeah.
I don't really have the interest in it anymore. The passion's not there, and it. I don't know that I don't have a problem with skydiving while having a child, but my priority is that skydiving is getting expensive, and I'd much rather spend that money doing things with my daughter that includes her and not handing her off. Like, How would Jen and I even skydive together? Who's going to watch the baby? It's just it's become such a low priority that there's no reason for it to even be on my list of priorities. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not done. Not saying I'm done forever. I'm just done for now.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. No worries.
There's degrees of it, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Per, you were more into like the more extreme wingsuiting.
Yes,
too,
both me and
at some
Kyle.
point?
Yes, both me and Kyle.
Well, I know Kyle got into it.
Per was on my first jump, my first wingsuit jump, and I was falling out of the sky like a rocket. A broken rocket.
Yeah. Well.
But I'm sure you know some people that have obviously unfortunately lost their life to it, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a dangerous, especially when you get into the more extreme aspects, flying near cliffs and mountains.
Yes.
And doing all those things, which is exhilarating, I'm sure, but there's going to be some sort of risk reward situation that you have to then roll that dice again with much heavier hand having a child in the world.
Yeah. There is with wingsuit base jumping, it's called, where you jump off the mountains and fly in the mountains. It's a very dangerous sport, and it is widely debated: is it smart or responsible even to do that when you are a parent? Because it has been shown again and again that parents fly into the trees just as good as anyone else. So an aspect that is unfortunate about it is that when I have conversations, and when anyone has conversations about wingsuit base jumping, it circles into the topic of death pretty quickly, and that's a very unfortunate aspect of it, because it is incredibly beautiful. What it also is incredibly peaceful, next to wild and extreme. That's 1%. 99% is hiking and preparing and climbing and being in nature. So it's all about the nature too, and I think all wingsuit base jumpers have a big appreciation for nature. No base jumper, you will never see a base jumper leave trash behind. And if they find trash, they pick it up. That is the spoken rule, unwritten but clearly spoken in that whole sport. That is the appreciation of the environment we are in. Also the animals and all that is in it. Because you hike out to places that are less traveled. Sometimes there's not even a path to some of the places that people go, so they run into all kinds of wilderness and nature that is not seen by many. That's a beautiful aspect of it, which also was a big part of my love for that. And that can circle me into the job that you mentioned, Kyle. As a park ranger here in Florida, over behind us here in the Hillsborough Wildlife Preserve. The hummingbirds that come in here that I love so much and that we enjoy, and that you've seen too, Kyle. And actually, you can probably not see it, but they're flying around here all the time. I realized they came from in there.
So you've adopted the work from home.
Yes, exactly.
The work from home trend definitely found you.
Yes. Totally. I realized that they came from in there. And so I went over there and found out what the park rangers do over there, and applied. That's a year ago, and now finally I'm a park ranger over there. Now I find it to be a beautiful piece of service. It is humble. It is humble work, a lot of it. I was in service many years ago in the Red Cross, and worked for them for a good 8-9 years, and I started at the ground and doing the work, social work in the Red Cross, and progressed through management and different levels within the organization, and I found that I missed my very first job in the Red Cross, which was the direct service to something that bears some meaning. So my aspiration for being a park ranger is to remain a park ranger. Now that entails many things out in the forest and out in nature. Also, it entails sweeping, cleaning bathrooms, emptying trash, which I believe to be, to me, something that I need to have in my work and my life. Does this resonate with any? Do you understand what I mean when I say this?
It keeps you humble.
Yes, and focus. As soon as I don't know if that makes any sense, really. It does to me, though.
No, it makes sense, man.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, sometimes a simple task, you can just get it done, feel accomplished, and nothing to it. No stress. There's just you and then the task ahead.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that exactly. There's no entanglement of any sort of interpersonal problems or whatever there may be at a workplace. It's a matter of, yeah, the simplicity of work is something that I have found to have great value for a happy life. Something where being in service or being at work and then being able to completely disconnect from that and just focus on the family, which is the most important, I think. Anyway, a stress-free life is what I have been looking for. Yes.
And you feel like you found it now?
Maybe. I think so. It is my goal and it is my path. So we may try different things and we may fail, but if we keep going the path, things will be fine. We just have to keep going the path we believe. Yeah.
That's amazing. Sounds like you're heaven. I know I feel the same way, man. I know I feel the same way. Finding that path. It feels good.
Some of this work that we do is amazing. We have aluminum motorboats and we go out on the big Hillsborough River and with chainsaws and we cut fallen trees in the river. We swim around with chainsaws, dude. I have never seen anything like it. And these boats in the river, they can fly over logs. It's incredible. It's these rangers out there in the forest. They live their own little adventure. So I've got a taste of this. I have been out with these guys. Incredible, like manly men, And I grew up soft over in Europe, so I have to try and and be like these guys, comfortable around. Like, dude, there's water moccasins right next to them, and they know their way around out there, and they are teaching it to me, which is an incredible gift, really.
What do you think that has been the hardest part of becoming a park ranger in the first few weeks?
What has been the hardest part? I haven't thought of anything that yeah, I haven't thought of anything. It's very natural. I wanted yeah.
I guess that's how you know you found
right,
the job.
Yeah. Shit.
Maybe.
My question to you would be, do you get to fly around in helicopters and fly over the forest?
No. They have no helicopters,
No.
Carl. This is Hillsborough County. They have ATVs, but no helicopters.
That's still pretty cool, though.
ATVs?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we got a theme going. So we got to do a rock song mixed with some reggae. I kind of already have a song title, Father Nature.
Ah, I,
like
that's
that.
very good. I love that. I love that.
We gotta you gotta send us some recordings of some hummingbirds in your backyard. Just send me a video, and I can probably take the audio.
Yes,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
for sure. Yeah. I don't know. What else? What else you guys wanna? Is there anything else you wanna get into? Is there something you wanna talk about again?
I mean, I feel like we've landed on a solid concept. I think with with everything we talked about being a father and all the things that come with fatherhood,
Yes.
and of course the respect and love for nature, the simplicity of life. I mean, there's just something that's just ingrained in us humans, that just being out in nature, it's so therapeutic. There's even parts of the world where people prescribe walks of nature as a medicine
Yes.
for healing, just for mental health, for physical health. It just can't be matched.
No.
Gosh, just to add to that, like, I've worked 4.5, 5 years in like a cubicle, building that, you go to your computer, you're on Excel models or PowerPoint presentations or meetings or calls. And, there was a group that started to do like lunch walks. And this is not like a forest or anything. It's up in New Hampshire, but, so there's trees, but it's an, somewhat industrial like complex. And they would just, go out, instead of like spending all of their time grabbing lunch somewhere, they would take a walk around the complex, and just getting that outdoor air and sun, and just that little thing, like you could see the change in people's demeanor, in their level of happiness for the day, just by doing that one little walk around a few
Yes.
businesses. And so imagine what a dose of pure nature in a amazing park or place that you can go visit, how much that does for your general well-being and mental state of mind. And I think a lot more people could use that.
Yeah,
these
absolutely.
days.
I agree.
I couldn't agree more,
I
Bo.
know I need it. Yeah. I know I'm looking forward to the damn cold being gone. Today, actually, it was, ready for this, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah,
That's
right.
high.
Was,
That's
I swear to you. I swear. That
He's
was,
chasing
people were
the
saying it's hot.
That's
He's chasing the warmth.
That's
Meanwhile,
like 52.
No, 81 Fahrenheit.
there's an exchange rate.
And a time zone changes it too.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's finally starting to get warm. The leaves are coming back on the trees. I can't wait to get out on the lakes and back to the caves. I love it out there.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean when you say you got to have that in your life. It just charges your soul. I don't know. It sounds like woo woo, but that's just how it feels.
No, that's a great way to put it.
Dude, woo woo. It's what we are made to be in. I think the woo woo is culture and buildings, and that is the illusion. That's something we just came up with and said that's normal. No, there was something here before us, and it's way greater and way more complex than anything that we can make. So that is the real reality to me anyway, and I think also to everyone.
I love that.
Wow, that's
I
beautiful.
love that. Yeah.
You're writing the lyrics for us.
Yeah.
It is the woo woo. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, man. I definitely feel inspired to start moving forward with making this song. I'm excited.
Awesome.
yeah, I can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
it's been too long for all of us, really. Like, this is technically the second podcasts that we've gotten together on in talks.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it was nice to get back into it, and especially to have you, Per. It was awesome having you on, man. We really appreciate your time. And man, it looks so pretty in your backyard. I wish I was there.
Me too, buddy. I wish you were here too.
It's beautiful.
Thank you guys for having me on. We got into some concepts where I got a little bit into deep water with explaining, because maybe a lot of it I've never verbalized before at all. It's just been like feelings. But that is also the theme of a lot of music. And I think you really got the feeling of what I was trying to express. I think you got it. I think you understood it. It feels very nice to be heard like that. Father Nature is a wonderful title for that, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, this one's gonna be fun. We got some good stuff.
All right.
Per, we'll keep you in the loop, and if you want to wait, we'll wait. Or if you want to hear ideas and stuff as we're doing it, whichever you prefer, you're welcome to it all.
Ah, thank you. All right, we'll see.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
Alrighty, guys.
Well,
thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
We got work to do.
All right, guys.
See you, Per. Love you, buddy.
Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Bye.